What would you do if you're having dinner with your spouse one night and you get a phone call and it's from your childhood best friend? The only problem is he's been dead for 2 days. Let's have a talk. So this is the type of story that's going to want to make you put your phone down afterwards. And yes, it actually happened. You can go and look this up. This actually took place. So this guy named Mike was having dinner with his wife one night, and they're sitting there talking, having small talk, and the phone rings. So the wife's like, "Oh, I'll get it." So she gets up, she goes and she looks at the caller ID, and she gives like a side eye face, and she picks it up, and within seconds, all the blood from her face rushes. She goes ghostly white, pale, and she gets this like terrified look across her face. And she looks at her husband and she goes, "I think it's for you." So he gets up and he gets on the phone. He goes, "Hello, hello." He doesn't hear anything. It's just like static white noise. And then all of a sudden, the voice of his childhood best friend that he knows very, very well and recognizes comes through screaming his name, Mike, Mike, Mike. And this guy Mike said that he knew that it was him, and he believed it, one, because he knew his voice and he's known the guy for over 40 years. And the other thing is that he knows that, you know, he hates to be called Mike. Just like me. My name is Michael. I hate to be called Mike. And he said, he goes, "I hate to be called Mike," and it was a joke that he would always call me Mike just to annoy me. And this guy got on the phone and he said, "Mike, Mike, they're coming for me. Mike, they're coming to take me. Mike, they're taking me away. Mike, help me, please." And he's sitting there and he's just like listening in disbelief because he can't help his best friend. And he's like, he feels helpless, and he truly believes in his soul that this was his best friend, that this wasn't a prank, nothing. So all of a sudden the phone cuts off and it goes silent. And then he's just sitting there trying to listen. And a few seconds later, background noise of what sounds like thousands of people in torment screaming, but it was like muffled. And he just said he just sat there for like almost a minute just listening to these people scream in torment, and then the phone cut off. So immediately Mike starts calling around, calling everybody, like, you know, who's pranking me, who's playing a joke, and everybody's like, "Dude, I have no idea what you're talking about. Like, why would I do that? That is the most messed up thing anybody could ever do." And he's like starting to believe, like, "Oh my God, like this actually happened." So days after that, they start calling around and they call the phone company, and the phone company's like, "No, that number's been shut off for probably about 3 days since he died. The phone got shut off." And then they learned from one of Mike's family members that he was actually buried with his phone as a joke, but they actually buried him with his phone. So there's no other way that anybody could have called him from his phone number. Again, one, the phone line and the phone service was completely cut off. That was confirmed by the telephone company. And two, nobody could have called from his physical phone because he was buried with it. So yeah, the next time that you get a call from a friend or a family member and they died a few days before that, I would strongly suggest thinking twice about picking it up.